So when I received the briefing today for Suits and Stories, I was a bit like in the briefing was, you have to have a story and you have to wear a suit. And I was a little bit self-conscious today, and I thought, what am I gonna wear tonight? But if I explain you later on my story, you will understand why. So Boudewijn already mentioned it for a little bit. I was 24 years old. I worked at the news program for children called NOS Jeugdjournaal, and then I got discovered as a model. Well, 24 is like super old in this industry, but I decided to go for it because I had one goal. I wanted to be a woman of the world. So, mission accomplished. I lived in Paris, in London, Milan, in New York, everywhere. And as you can imagine, it's super nice. You travel all over the world, you meet nice people, creative people. Every day is different, and you can wear beautiful, beautiful clothes. But in every job, there's a different side as well. And probably you've seen programs like America's Next Top Model, Holland's Next Top Model. And as a model, you have to do job interviews 6 or 8 times a day. They're called castings. And you have a book with pictures. And you go to a client and you show yourself. Quite scary, eh? And 6 times of the day, like let's say 6 out of 8, they don't like you. You hear no, you hear what's wrong with you, your hips are too wide, your nose is not good, your bum is too big. And you have to go on to the next casting. And maybe once, twice a day, you're lucky and they like you. And they will tell you you're the most beautiful girl. They book you for the job and you're a princess for one day. And then you're back in the arena. Probably something you can relate to as well at work when things are getting tough. So you have a big high and you have a low as well. And can you imagine what it's like to live with 15 models in one house? Okay, I have to explain that a little bit more. So recently I wrote a book about this life, and this is a little scene about living with 15 girls in one house. Svetlana is already in bed. She's flipping through a magazine about plastic surgery. She also has a callback tomorrow. We both go for the same job, the same shampoo commercial. Great. I go to wash my hair and then off to bed. I put some extra shampoo on my head, but my hair doesn't foam. Weird. Let's try some more shampoo. I smell a strange smell. I smell the bottle that almost slips out of my hand. What the fuck? There's no way I'm going to get this shit out of my hair. I'll have a greasy head of hair tomorrow. That bitch. I run to her bedroom. She pretends to sleep, but I shake her awake. She looks fearfully to the bottle in my hand. I don't know nothing, she keeps calling. I not know. Now Becky storms into the room. She grabs the bottle out of my hand and smells it. Becky is my friend, and I point to my hair. Now I can kiss the 20,000 euro dream job goodbye. I scream, olive oil. Becky shouts, you stupid fucking bitch. Yes. So I saw a lot of boys and girls losing themselves in this industry. And I noticed for myself, I was like really outgoing before when I worked in television. And now suddenly I was wearing only black clothes and no makeup when I had my days off. I didn't want anyone to look at me anymore. So it was a bit strange to feel that way, and I needed to do something to get out. And the things I picked up along the way, I want to share with you. One, it's super, super important to have a support system. Your friends and your family, like, it sounds so easy, but if you're far away from home, please try to stay in contact with them, because when things go wrong, you always have people to get back on. And cherish them, honestly. Another thing I want to tell you is find something you really like besides your job. For me, that was writing. I loved writing when I was a child, and everything was so focused about my outside that I really loved to like write in my diary. And then suddenly I got the chance to write a column for a magazine. And then the column was really well read because I wrote about the industry and about the things that were not that nice. we all know the nice things, but it was far before hashtag Me Too, and I wrote about like dirty photographers, about like the pressure of staying thin and plastic surgery, and that it was never enough. But I also wanted to show the fun side, so I had to do something in balance. And sometimes it was really scary to tell these stories. And the thing I really, really, really found out is every time you're really authentic and you're really true and you write something down you don't want to share, you will like reach someone. And I think that's the art of writing and the art of making something. Please dare to try and share sometimes something you don't want to share at all. After that, I got the opportunity to make a TV show in New York and find out what it's like to have success in a city like New York. And the funny thing is I interviewed loads of insiders in the fashion industry and they all told me the same. They all said, we want a girl who's real, a girl who's authentic. But I thought it was quite strange in an industry where you have to be someone else all the time. So it's a bit relatable to the story of Audrey. Stay to yourself, but how do you do that if you're pushed to be someone else? So one thing I did, I really had a lot of time to focus on body, mind, and soul, because I always had to work out once or twice a day, so I decided to do yoga. So if you read like biographies of very successful people, most of the time you see they go to the gym in the morning, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, before their day starts. And I think it's really important to feel well in your body. Another thing I really want to say, what made me happy again, was to give back, that I could share my knowledge, because there's not so much guidance and supportance in the model industry, and a lot of girls are like 15, 16, and you're in Paris, and they say you're too fat, you have to lose weight, and you get a card of the gym. Well, that's it. So I really love to share my experience and to help other girls, and I think if you think back when you were a little kid at school and it was your birthday, it was like, for me, it was the best day of the year, that I could give my candies to other boys and girls. And I think it's nice if you have the chance and you have the power in your job to share your knowledge, always do it. And the last thing I want to say is that, yeah, success is related to staying true to yourself in a world where you're always forced to be someone else. And one of the best examples is I was never the tallest or the skinniest girl, but I had clients who booked me over and over and over again. And I always said to them, like, why? And they said, you're nice, you're like professional, and we like to work with you. And like Dutch girls are honestly really like famous for this worldwide as models, because I think we are professionals. Or parents tell us to give like a hand and say hi when the job starts. So that's a good thing. And yeah, I think it's really, really important that you're also a nice girl. And I think I got a lot of jobs because they liked me. And it was not only the outside. Thank you.